Hello, and welcome to another episode in my Delving into Twitter series. And we're going to be looking at one of Donald Trump's tweets right after the presidency has, of course, concluded and whatnot. But basically, 71 million legal votes, the most ever for a sitting president. Yes, so if you're not aware, potentially millions of Biden's votes were the result of voter fraud. It just to give a quick rundown before we go through the tweet, um, it just doesn't really add up in the sense that how did Joe Biden manage to not only get more votes than Obama in 2008, but also Hillary Clinton in 2016? She had about 69 million votes. Now, the reason why this makes no sense is because in a lot of counties and a lot of states, there's something like about an 80 to a 90% turnout rate. Now, there were some where the 90% turnout rate wasn't exactly accurate, it was more like 75%. However, that was only for one county. A lot of counties had legitimate 90% turnout rates, which is rather rather impossible. Basically, how the vote turnout or eligible voters is calculated, I'm pretty sure it's the I think it's the amount of people registered to vote divided by I think the amount of people that vote on average, something like that. I'm not really sure, but basically a 90% turnout rate, even an 80% turnout rate, is a little bit unprecedented considering during 2016, I think the average turnout rate for just across the board was, I think, no more than maybe 60% in a county. So to think one election brought out an extra 30%, maybe even 40%, it's a little bit understandable if, let's say, we go from like a 60% turnout to maybe a 75% turnout. However, a 90% turnout is very unlikely, but I digress. Let's see here. Donald Trump impeached one term president, twice lost the popular vote. 235,000 died during a pandemic under his watch. Owes 420 million. So, if you have a brain, you could already know this is a kind of a disgusting comment because you're pinning every single COVID death on the president elect, or well, was president elect, and one that's a already disgusting comment because even under Obama and Biden's watch, I can guarantee you they probably would not have fared much better. Um, we even know, even in places that had lockdowns, like draconian lockdowns, like complete just utter couldn't even go out for a walk lockdowns, they still had deaths every day. Not only that, you even had a Michigan governor that sent COVID patients into retiree homes for whatever reason, and it could have potentially led to tens of thousands of elderly dying. Steven Crowder actually campaigned on I think the steps of the Capitol building in Michigan. Um, and I'm not sure how it turned out, but basically it was to raise awareness to that fact because it's like, well, why did she do that? And, basically to also it was to release the actual numbers of COVID patients that died. But I digress. Let's keep going. Look what I found. He could not have said it better himself. If I were to run, I'd run as a Republican. They're the dumbest group of voters in the country. If you believe anything on Fox News, I could lie and they'd still eat it up. I bet my numbers would be terrific. Yeah, this. Yeah, I. I already know this is a fake fucking. This isn't real. Good try though. Who was that? Mark Henderson. Fake news there. Can we all try an experiment? Let's see how many people follow him on Twitter solely to see his rants. And okay, wait, but you had only 67 million votes on Tuesday night. Use your logic. You are lying right now. So this is a pretty stupid tweet, just considering. Well, um, does she not, I guess, read the updated votes? Okay. So far, Joe Biden won 75 million, 7,506 votes compared to Donald Trump at 70,825,258. That's 4.2 million votes more than Biden than Trump. In fact, that's the most for a president elect in all of American history. But they weren't legal. Most likely, I can probably guarantee you, I would honestly suspect a couple million of those votes were actually illegitimate. Of course, just based on a simple concept of non-point pollution, except without the pollution. Essentially, when you have small patches of pollution, even though it's small, when you look at it at the bigger picture, it's actually really damaging. So basically, imagine for 10 homes, you take out the trash once a week, but you think the trash you're taking out really isn't that small. However, when you look at all 10 houses combined, even though they all take out the same amount of trash compared to their neighbor, it's still quite a lot. And that's kind of what we're looking at here with the voter fraud is, although sure it's not happening in every single county and it's not at the same amount of votes per county. However, if even, let's say, 1,000 votes per county, and especially in these battleground states, that's enough to swing an election. Some states have something like, I think, like 30 plus counties. That's 30,000 votes. And a lot of these battleground states were within that range. And that's not even being generous. That's kind of holding back a bit. So, you're the best president ever. Thank you. That's cute. I speak for all you. You're still our president. Hell yeah, brother. Worst moment to say that kind of stuff. You literally don't. And again, low info voter. So, oh my god, stop the count. Okay, so this is a very degenerative tweet because when Joe Biden, when Donald Trump said stop the count, he did not say like, yo, okay, stop counting, just stop counting out. No, he said stop counting until we know the votes are being counted legitimately. Very, very tongue twisty there, but you know. So you're telling me 70 million is half of 308 million. Okay. Yep, that's almost as funny as watching Trump descend into madness over this election. Okay. Well, yeah, until January 20th. Okay. Okay, actually, 75 million votes are the most. Oh my god. Okay, actually, who is this? Wife of Crescentine, brother, mother of two awesome kids. Email. Jesus. Oh my god. Wow, I did not even see that. She has a lot of followers. Um, Crackdown on Dreamers withdrawal from. Oh my god. Okay, so this is actually this is not good because so I would say the main reason why we probably haven't had any sort of terror attacks in the past 4 years is actually probably because of this ban. If you don't know, it wasn't Muslims getting banned from just in general. It was getting banned from certain countries where there was a high amount of terrorist activity. So you had, of course, Syria, Afghanistan. Of course, ISIS actually controlled, I think, large swaths of Afghanistan. Of course, which was the main reason for this ban, because I think we just came off of I think it was the Pulse nightclub shooting, if I'm correct, and then of course we had, I think, another incident, and just to add a little bit icing on the cake, two people were beheaded in France by, I think, two Muslim men, something like that. It was a terror attack. But crackdown on Dreamers. I think I forgot what the Dreamers thing was, but I think it had something to do with uh, something with, I think, border security. I'm not sure, but withdrawals from the Paris Climate Accord and the World Health Organization. So there was a very good reason to actually exit from this, and I think it's because, well, the Paris Climate Accord just was not really helping. It was just stupid to be in it. Actually, we did just fine on our own getting out of this accord. We're actually, our carbon emissions are at an all-time low that it's ever been. It's actually been going down every single year. And the World Health Organization, I'm not sure why we got out of it, but I think it has something to do with corruption, because the World Health Organization is very corrupt. But so yeah, using science. Yeah, I guess his task force isn't anything, but I'll that was a wild ride. Not really, but if you liked what you saw, subscribe and follow me on Twitter. This is going to be my series where I delve into Twitter and kind of discuss some things. It's kind of like a free talk for me. It's a little bit easier to kind of get going than a formal video on a topic, because I could just kind of branch off and do my own thing. Almost similar to, of course, how Tim Pool, where it's almost different, not projects, different topics, but we'll be leaving here, and stay safe, my friends.